Have you ever been stuck trying to figure out how to handle exceptions in your code? It can be really frustrating, especially when you're trying to make your application run smoothly. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to throw exceptions from a completable future in Java. I totally get it. Dealing with exceptions can feel like a maze, and it's easy to get lost. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar challenges when working with asynchronous programming. Let's look at the specific question at hand. One user asked, "How do I throw a server exception from a completable future?" They provided some code but were unsure how to propagate the exception correctly. Sound familiar? If so, let's break it down together. So, what's the issue here? When you use CompletableFuture, exceptions thrown inside the asynchronous task are not automatically propagated to the calling method. This can lead to confusion if you're not handling it properly. Let's clarify how to manage this. And stick around. I have a great tip at the end that will help you manage exceptions in your asynchronous code more effectively. To throw the server exception from the completable future, the user needs to modify the way exceptions are handled within the asynchronous block. First, they should declare the exception in the completable future's method signature. Next, the user should wrap the call to some obj.somefunc in a try-catch block. If a server exception is caught, they can complete the completable future exceptionally. Now, the user should ensure that the completable future is returned from the method. This allows the caller of myfunc to handle the exception appropriately. Finally, the user can call myfunc and handle the exception in the calling code. This way, the server exception will propagate correctly to the caller. Fun fact, did you know that Java's completable future was introduced in Java 8? It revolutionized how we handle asynchronous programming in Java, making it much easier to work with threads and exceptions. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach to throwing exceptions from CompletableFuture is to use an anonymous class. If you don't want to run it in another thread, you can create a CompletableFuture and complete it directly with the result of somefunc. If a server exception occurs, you can call completeExceptionally to handle the exception. If you prefer to run the CompletableFuture in another thread, you can still use an anonymous class. In this case, use runAsync to execute the code in a separate thread and handle exceptions in the same way. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. One alternative approach is to wrap the server exception in a runtime exception. This allows you to throw the exception without handling it directly. You can also create a utility class called wrapper to manage exceptions more effectively. In the provided example, you can throw an exception inside a completable future and wrap it using the wrapper class. Later, you can unwrap it to retrieve the original exception. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always remember to handle exceptions in your asynchronous code. It can save you a lot of headaches down the line and make your applications much more robust. And there you have it. You should now be able to throw exceptions from your completable future with ease. Remember, proper exception handling is crucial for building reliable applications. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more coding tips, and don't miss our next video where we tackle more advanced Java topics.